Drum Corps fans, we're live in Indianapolis. It's a hot, steamy night outside Lucas Oil Stadium. Ooh, we may be in air-conditioned comfort here inside, but the competition, I can tell you, has been red hot tonight. A gap of less than 0.2 of a point has separated first and second these last two nights. Will it be Boston or the Bluecoats putting their name on the Founders Trophy? We'll know in just a few minutes. Hi everybody, Steve Rondinero, glad to be back with you. Lindsay Vento, my sidekick. Man alive. It feels like we say it every year. How can it get any better? But we had 12 outstanding performances here tonight.
I'm emotionally exhausted. I stood up and sat down and stood up and sat down, and the crowd the same way. It's up and it's down. It's standing ovations for everyone. Exciting to see the Blue Knights back in finals. We found out what the final sunset actually meant this week.
And boy, was it meaningful.
You loved that one. You got emotional every single time. Is Boston going to take home their first ever Founders Trophy? To think that Boston is who they are and their name is not on that trophy.
It's our 85th anniversary this year.
That's crazy.
And
crazy.
The Bluecoats, man, they're defending champs. They put up well, the last two shows were just phenomenal. Everybody was great, but those last two were up here, I got to tell you. Been a night of great horn lines. It's been a season of great horn lines. You know, this season started and then boom, it seemed like 2 days later we're here in Indy.
It was quick. It was really quick. And from the designer perspective and being on the road, it went by fast. And then being here this week, it went by fast. And talking to my friends in the activity, it flew by. And the membership, watching them grow. I mean, you went to the early on shows and then you watched them grow until the very end. The growth of these members in a shorter season. You know, there's a lot of people online that saw less shows and less tour time and were kind of disappointed. But I hope you realize that even in a shorter season, man, we got there.
We got
there quick, yeah.
Also an interesting night of, let's see, oboes, soprano saxophones, and okay, this is the old Drum Corps purist guy. I liked them. They were tasteful. They were additions to the show.
It elevated what it was.
Added a texture to it.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
And to think that that rule just passed in January, right? We talked to a couple of corps this weekend and on Thursday that said as soon as that rule passed, they had somebody right up their sleeve ready to go. Chip Krotz at the Blue Devils, Noe and Jessica told us that about the Blue Knights. I mean, they had someone ready to go in case that rule passed, and lucky for us it did because it elevated the entire night.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Man alive, I got to tell you, the crowd here, we certainly have filled this side of Lucas Oil Stadium around into the ends. It's been a great crowd turnout all week here at Lucas Oil for 3 nights of competitions, and next to no one has left their seat.
I was just going to say, sometimes this is the point where you know, people start to exit. Let's get out of the parking, right, like we do. Let's get out of the parking lot before it gets too crowded. And I'll tell you, tonight it is razor thin. That GE caption, reminder about those GE captions, that it's an average of the 3 nights. And they have been tight between Bluecoats and Boston all week long. It's razor thin, and everybody that's here in the stands knows that, and they are not going to miss this.
Yeah, they want to be here live for, it's not nearly as much fun reading it off your phone as being here live and in the moment. We've got the Marines standing by. They're going to play everybody on. We'll begin our mass retreat. Then we'll get to the awarding of the caption scores. I think our buddy Dennis is going to hand out the Fred Sanford Percussion Award.
Dennis is extremely excited, so make sure even at home you're standing up and giving Dennis DeLucia a great standing ovation.
So that's always fun, and that means a lot to these corps. Who's got the best color guard on the year? Who's got the best percussion section? Who's got the best horn line? Those awards mean a lot. And
you know, those awards do mean a lot, and it's always tricky, right? Because you're going for the caption award and you want that caption award. You know, if you're a color guard director or a writer, or you're the brass caption head or whatever it is and you're on staff, you want those caption awards, but you're also, as good as your captions are, you're trying to get the whole, right? The Founders Trophy and that ring is the goal. The membership experience is the goal. But if you can tack on 1 or 2 of those caption awards at the same time, the corps that always historically do the best are the ones going for the whole, not just that one caption. And I think that's why everybody right now, I mean, specifically from 6 up, it's just exhausting. It's every caption firing on all cylinders. It's going to be really tight races.
Yeah, and again, Lindsay mentioned general effect. That typically is the bellwether. So goes general effect. Typically, so goes the total score, so goes the championship, and they've gone back and forth here this week.
Thursday was Boston by .03 in GE, and yesterday was Blue Coats by .2. I mean, it can't. I don't know that it can get. Well, I guess mathematically it could get closer, but it's really not. It's razor thin. It's tight. It's exciting. You know, there are years that sometimes we just know the clear winner, right? It's been an undefeated season for someone, and it's been clear. I will tell you, I have butterflies. I'm excited. I'm anxious for everybody.
Nobody's been undefeated this year.
No, there's been no undefeated season, and so we really genuinely don't know what's about to happen. And here we go. Finale is beginning.
All right. The U.S. Marine Corps is going to play everybody on, ladies and gentlemen. Love having this group here. And here come our drum corps. 12 of the finest marching music acts in the world. In the world. And even, you know, the international corps aren't represented here tonight, but it is absolutely the top 12 of the world. Look at all those flags. Doesn't that give you the goosebumps? All of those flags walking in. Representing the various countries where some of these members have come from.
Yeah.
I talked to a number of Brits today who are over here marching in multiple corps.
It is, and we, you know what, at the Cavaliers specifically, we have a few of the Japanese members, and we have Google Translate. I just learned this summer how to use Google Translate so I could speak to our members.
Konnichiwa. So here's our 12th place corps coming in, the Blue Knights of Denver, Colorado. Great to see them back in the finals.
With Drip.
Drip. And I know what that means, Drip.
You do.
Musically tasty with a great baritone solo tonight. They were the first of our earth tone corps as well.
Yeah, you said, what did you say? Brown is the new brown? Did you say that on Thursday?
Brown is the new brown, yeah. Now, it's interesting, though, that 12th and 11th, we only had 0.3 of a point last night, separating Blue Knights and the Colts. Here are the Colts.
The Colts, I love that uniform, Steve. That costuming is a choice, and I know when it hit the internet earlier this year, people were really skeptical.
The Angry Hornets.
Yes, and you have to keep things into context, and you see it in context. It makes all the difference.
Yep, they use them effectively. Here comes America's Corps.
Man, that ending. Did you cry again?
I got a little choked up. I'll admit it. The drum majors in the classic trooper uniform. The final sunset. Music was a strength for them last night. They were 8th. They were 5th in drums.
5th in drums.
Yeah.
Big. And 7th in brass, I believe.
And the cool thing tonight, and those of you who saw it at home, people with their phone lights.
Yes, I saw
that. In the stands, it was really cool.
Yeah, they had the flashlights on during the troopers. It was really moving. It was really powerful.
Blue Stars coming in 9th. They broke 90 as well. You know, there was less than half a point separating troopers, Blue Stars, and Cavaliers coming in here. The Blue Stars spectator sport, they brought the stadium to you.
Yeah, so the seedling of how that started was when we interviewed Andrew on Thursday. He said we wanted to do a show that was athletic, and you know, you can do every show here tonight is athletic, but the fact that they just used sports in general, it worked.
Yeah,
it worked really well.
They did a great job with Abbas, and the winner takes it all. Great arrangement. Cavaliers coming in 8th. Shape shift. I love the fact that they look like the Cavaliers.
They do. I appreciate you saying that. We took that into consideration. It's really important with our brand new design team and a brand new staff that we stay true to the tradition. The members are extremely happy. We had an absolute blast putting Shape Shift together. But look at those hats. Everybody who wanted those hats, there they are. Look at all the roses, our age-out roses.
In 7th place tonight, the Mandarins, If I Must Fall. They kind of begin our all-white segment here with the main part of the core proper. Actually, they're kind of iridescent, aren't they?
It is. It's an iridescent. It's a white. It depends on where you look at it in the stadium. It is iridescent. However, the quote that really stuck with me and the proverb that it's based on is, "If I must fall, the one I'm becoming will catch me." And I thought that was really powerful, and I looked at the ending in a totally different way with that last member catching that prop at the end. It was a really powerful, you know, it's proof that you can do really emotional and intellectual and deep programs, and they can still be fun. They can still be exciting. We can still love them, right, Steve?
We can. Let's stay with the all-white theme, Phantom Regiment, and they were striking in that all-white.
And the color guard against it, stunning. The curtains in Lucas Oil, you know, we were all kind of waiting at the edge of our seat, wondering what that was going to look like indoors. And, you know, I expected them to be still. I expected them to have no motion. And here in Lucas Oil, there is a breeze, thankfully, and they did have motion within them. And I was talking to Tony Hall. He said it was kind of a beautiful happenstance that was that way.
That Phantom sound.
Gosh, I was just
so rich bottom sound.
And you
talk about a sound, you got to talk about Carolina Crown. That Crown brass, point of no return. And all I got to say about Carolina Crown is Mahler.
They are just crystal clear, though. They are just absolutely, the clarity is just crystal clear. The color guard, absolute lights out. They were, I specifically focused on them tonight. You know, their point of the show is kind of entrancing and captivating the horn members, and I watched them from that perspective tonight. They move, they spin, they fly across the field with that Jeff Sacktig drill.
Mahler was beautiful.
Yeah,
I got to get back to that. I got to get back to that. All right, Blue Devils, variations on the gathering, had all those Blue Devil things in them. Outstanding guard. A sound that has a special brilliance, and that center circle flat thing was magnificent.
It comes out of nowhere. You don't even realize they're coming in, which is a brilliant staging. That soprano sax soloist, who's also the drum major, doing dual roles.
Santa Clara Vanguard, they went in a different direction, a minimalist approach, if you will. Avant-garde, strong percussion, glowing at us in neon.
They are. We learned this week that the neon is actually the avant-garde take of their core colors.
I think you need one of those pink mushroom hats, though.
I might have one already.
Boston, boom! They lit this place up tonight.
Exhausting in all the best ways. There they are. Look how excited.
And the crowd was with them, too. Color guard, outstanding. And then, of course, our defending champions, Blue.
Wow.
The Blue Coats.
I love seeing how happy. I love this part of the season where you've got the tears, and you've got the tears of joy, and you've got the tears of sadness. Absolutely stunning. They all seem so happy. This is the absolute best place in the world to be.
What a gorgeous picture. That is magnificent. Ladies and gentlemen, there's your 12 finalists.
Drum majors.
Let's go over to Brant Crocker now and pick up the PA announcing live here in the stadium.
Each of Drum Corps International's elite ensembles have been hard at work this week perfecting their final performances of the 2025 Drum Corps International Summer Tour. Please direct your attention to the video boards and let us take one final look at the 2025 World Championships. Drum Corps International would like to have you join them in showing appreciation to the parents, family members of our performers this evening for their encouragement and support of the passionate pursuit of excellence. We also like to thank the band directors, music teachers, and color guard instructors all over the world who are responsible for the education and development of the outstanding performers who entertained you today. Music is an essential part of a well-rounded education and a vibrant community. Please continue to support music education programs in your schools and neighborhoods and help ensure that students everywhere have the opportunity to experience the power of the performing arts. Now the scores. Presenting tonight's awards are DCI CEO Nate Boudreau and DCI Board Chair Jonathan Powell. In 12th place with a score of 87.45, Blue Knights. Named for the former director of the Troopers and founding member of Drum Corps International, who passed away in 1994, the Jim Jones Leadership Award is given each year to one world and one open class drum major who exhibits unparalleled leadership qualities. Chosen by the Committee of DCI Hall of Fame members and presented by DCI Hall of Fame member Gene Montrastelli, this year's World Class Award goes to Matty Cleespies of the Blue Stars. In 11th place with a score of 88.05, Colts. In 10th place with a score of 90.05, Troopers. Drum Corps International Caption Awards are determined by averaging the scores of prelims, semifinals, and finals. The George Zengali Award for Best Color Guard, presented by DCI Hall of Fame member Denise Bonfiglio, goes to the Boston Crusaders. In ninth place, with a score of 90.8, 90.80, the Cavaliers. The John Brazali Best Visual Performance Award, presented by DCI Hall of Fame member Paul Leteau, goes to the Bluecoats. In eighth place, with a score of 91.175, 91.175, the Blue Stars. The Jim Ott Award for Best Brass Performance, presented by Michael Canote and Rick Acum, comes to the Boston Crusaders. In seventh place, with a score of 92.825, 92.825, the Mandarins. In sixth place, with a score of 94.3, 94.3, Phantom Regiment. The Fred Sanford Award for Best Percussion Performance, presented by DCI Hall of Fame member Dennis DeLucia, goes to the Boston Crusaders. In fifth place, and a score of 94.8, Carolina Crown. In fourth place, and a score of 95.788, to the Blue Devils. The Don Angelica Award for Best Overall General Effect, presented by DCI Hall of Fame member Jim Prime, goes to the Bluecoats. Receiving the bronze medal tonight with a score of 96.70, Santa Clara Vanguard. Receiving the silver medal with a score of 98.25, Bluecoats. Receiving the gold medal and recipient of the Founders Trophy, the 2025 Drum Corps International World Champion with a score of 98.425. 98.425 to the Boston Crusaders.
This stadium is, I gotta say it, electric, crazy, nuclear. Yeah, nuclear is good. It's boom. Boston Crusaders, their 85th anniversary, their first ever championship by a margin of .175, less than 0.2 of a point over the defending champion Bluecoats. This place is raw emotion.
I really am trying to speak, but I'm gathering myself. I'm going to admit that I'm human. I am pretty emotional over that. Watching that happen, watching their reaction, watching the staff's reaction, watching Gino Cipriani's reaction, winning that brass award.
Yeah, the way the captions broke out, the crowd here really didn't have a clue. Color guard went to Boston, visual went to Bluecoats, brass went to Boston, percussion went to Boston. But we always say general effect is the big one.
Yep.
Bluecoats got that, but Boston got the big prize. Dan Potter's with the drum major.
History made tonight at Lucas Oil Stadium. A brand new champion, the Boston Crusaders. Wes Booker is Boston's drum major. I was watching your expression when they announced Bluecoats as a silver medalist. What was going through your mind? Because there was this flash of emotion on your face. What were you thinking?
All smiles, so happy.
It has been a 26-year journey. 1999 was the first time Boston made finals. It's been a slow, arduous climb, but you guys have been so persistent, so consistent. Can you talk a little bit about that journey?
Yeah, part of our core song is We Will Never Die, and we try and portray that every single day. Every rehearsal we push our best, and every show we give everything we got.
How did you feel at the end of that performance? Did it feel like a gold medal winning performance?
Absolutely, it had me in tears.
What's your favorite moment of the season? Is it this, or was it something that happened during the season itself?
I think everything. My favorite thing about the summer is the people, and today reminded me of that. Watching them all perform the best show of their life was pretty special.
Any parting thoughts? Anything you want to tell this crowd? Because I got to tell you something. I think that was the loudest crowd reaction to a show I've heard since Spartacus in 2008. Do you think this crowd may have helped you?
Absolutely, we love you guys.
Wes Booker, drum major, the world champion, Boston Crusaders.
Oh boy, is that going to be an encore performance for the ages tonight. History is made, a brand new name
Drum
on that
majors,
Founders
you may
Trophy.
return to your units.
We've got a breakdown of the scoring for you as the Crusaders are crowned the champion, and their name goes on that trophy. As I say, they won the Color Guard Caption, Brass, and Percussion Awards. Here's the breakdown. Now, this is just tonight. Lindsay, the formula didn't work. We say who usually takes GE usually wins the show, but the Bluecoats had GE by a 1/10 of a point.
They did, and that just goes to show you if there's barely separation between captions and then it ping pongs back and forth, that's when that GE caption, like the GE wins the show, sometimes doesn't work. And we've seen it now, I think 3 to 4 times in the last 15 years that you've won, that the champion didn't win GE. And that's a testament, though, that they're so close in every single caption. And this is what we got to experience this week.
The
Look
edge,
at all of them.
You look at it, the edge tonight for Boston was music, and no doubt that winning percussion line contributed to that as well. Of course, they won brass too, but when you're dealing with margins that tight, everything makes a difference. Santa Clara holds on to 3rd, Blue Devils in 4th, Crown in 5th. Phantom Regiment, that may be the best 6th place performance I have ever seen.
Yeah, I don't, once you got to that point, I thought, how in the world are you even going to choose? It could go to either Carolina Crown or Phantom. It could go to anybody. And it's watching Carolina Crown tonight, and I got to watch it next to my kids, actually. And the wall of sound, man, I hope you heard that at home. It's just absolutely electric.
Mandarins, Blue Stars, Cavaliers, Troopers, Colts, Blue Knights. So that's it from here at Lucas Oil Stadium, ladies and gentlemen.
There's Spirit Halloween right there.
The Boom Girls are bombastic. What a night it's been for Lindsay and our entire broadcast team here. I'm Steve Rondinero. Thank you for being a part of DCI 2025. We have a new champion, the Boston Crusaders. We'll see you right back here next year. You gotta come.
See you guys. Good night.